So let's see, we can jump around the agenda if not all the presenters are here. So what we wanted to talk about today is the International Overdose Awareness Day, and which presents us with some unique challenges because what we've done in the past in many ways isn't possible during COVID. Those large gatherings with lots of hugs for everybody, they won't happen. So we want to talk about that, but also a few other things. So we have Sandra Tully, when she joined us, talk about the Addiction Matter campaign. And if not, Jenny can talk about that too. And then, Jenny cannot get on the Zoom call. Helen cannot get on the Zoom call. Can somebody text Helen the link? And I noticed if you try to launch the link out of Zoom, it sometimes gets tricky. So it's best to copy and paste. So somebody could message Helen, that'd be great. Maybe Leslie, can you do that?
Yeah, I'm just in the process.
Yeah, good. We have Sandra talk about Addictions Matter. Jenny is talking about the Purple Ribbon campaign. And then hopefully Rebecca Rumry from Winnipeg and or Arlene Laskopa joining us to talk about the Manitoba plans. Angela is going to talk about billboards and what Edmonton is doing. And Lori has an idea that can take us in the fall. This is one that the board, interestingly, she's come up with the same idea that the board has already chatted and that Catherine from Ottawa had suggested. So we'll wrap up with that, if that's good with everybody. So has Sandra joined, Angela?
No, not yet.
No. Are we recording?
Yes.
Good. Thank you. So Jenny, are you okay talking about the Purple Ribbon campaign, and are you going to be sharing some images, because you could share your desktop if you're sharing images? You are muted. You have to unmute yourself.
Did I click?
Yeah, you're good now.
Is that better? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Great. Yeah. Let me just share the screen. I'm not sure if I can share or not.
You should be able to share.
Able to share? Okay. It says attendee screen sharing disabled, but that's okay. I'll just talk about Purple Ribbon campaign. Is something we started probably 3 years ago. And so every year it's gained momentum as a Mom Stop the Harm initiative. The concept of the Purple Ribbon campaign is really adapted as a historical way that mothers during the war would acknowledge their sons that they lost and would tie a yellow ribbon around a tree of remembrance. And so it has a historical symbol there. So we, I'm not sure what I'm doing. Oh, there. So Angela kindly set up a Facebook event for people to join and invite friends and share with friends and family to join. And it's a way where we're inviting people to post pictures of their Purple Ribbon campaign. So the poster's there that describes it in more detail, what the event is, starting August 31st, running for the month. And examples of what people have done in the past. I know in Victoria we had some of our moms go down to Beacon Hill Park, and they tied purple ribbons, and they actually had laminated photos of their loved ones and tied them around the trees. I just posted this picture. It's something I do every year on a tree on my property with a sign to invite others to join in. And you can see Angela's photo there that she posted, where it starts to expand, and really ideally my dream would be color the town purple. Angela, many people have got their bridges to change the lights purple. Judith Conway, who's our go-getter with there she is, Flags of Remembrance. Judith, you had Canada Place change the lights in Vancouver, and I believe you had the large arena change the lights.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really driving home that message of tying in that color of remembrance. And an example, our Victoria committee here, we just put in an order for purple t-shirts, which say end overdose. We ordered 12 of them, and we're sending them to the leaders of the political parties with an invitation to ask them to wear them on August 31st. We see Justin Trudeau come out in, breast cancer awareness t-shirts and Indigenous Day t-shirts. My dream would be is that we see this day acknowledged in the same way. So it's a way to kickstart a campaign which can be adapted into many different ways and initiatives. So I know some of you here today have done similar things. I wonder if you mind sharing some of the purple ribbon ideas that you've done where you're located. If anyone has anything to share.
Helen's on now, and Sandra said she's going to be on in just a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Thanks.
just to add to what Jennifer said, if you haven't joined the group yet, if you look for Purple Ribbon for Overdose Awareness, that's the group. So it's easy to just join. You just have to click and join, and someone will admit you into the group.
I couldn't join. I tried to join and I couldn't.
That's funny, Helen, because I did send you an invite and it said you've already joined. So isn't that funny? Yeah.
Well, let's see if Helen's in here because
I'm doing things that I don't even know I do anymore. So.
Oh, no worries.
Jen, would you ask permission to adapt the trees in Beacon Hill Park, or did you just go ahead and do it?
We just went ahead and did it. And yeah, and this year we've got a plan with our committee to start at the entrance of the town on the main Douglas Road, Douglas Street going into town, and we're going to tie ribbons with a postcard we've got printed out talking about Overdose Awareness Day, and we'll tie it to the ribbon and it'll line both sides of the street. The city will come along once a week and pull things off the telephone poles. So we'll strategically time it to get the most days out of that. But no, people have just gone ahead and tied ribbons.
We've done, this will be our 4th year doing awareness in regards to Overdose Awareness Day in our community. And we actually, we just let the city know that we're going to be doing our ribbons throughout downtown. Yeah. So we actually do them along, traditionally for the last 3 years, we're going to be changing it up this year. We're still figuring that portion out, but we actually will have wherever we start off with doing an awareness march with our signs and such going all the way through, up and down, zigzag through downtown. And then right off downtown is into what we call Muskosipi Park, which is a great big park right in the middle of town. And so we actually tie our ribbons with a laminated postcard inviting everyone to our event and letting them, just raising that awareness, have some, whether it's to recognize an overdose or whatever. So we have like a double-sided as far as information, but it has that invitation with it. And we actually, if anything, we find that a lot of like young girls, you'll see them like tied on their bikes, as they're going back and forth from the shelter, they'll be tied in their hair. The ribbons will all be there, and they'll actually just take the cards and to make sure that they're passing them out themselves. So then we also have so those ones are more like a postcard sign that we put on our ribbons. Yeah. Then we also have like a smaller business card sign that we actually give to the businesses throughout downtown and, within our different agencies and such too. So then that way we can still, it's not just the one card that only one person sees. Nice. So it's been pretty good. That is a tradition that we've done. And then just trying to make sure that, trying to spread it. So then we find that sometimes people take, when we've done like do the poster picture thing, they've taken some of our ribbons from downtown. They're like, hey, where can I get this back after? I'm like, you know what? You keep it, you put it out every year, and we'll figure out, you know, how we get more going. But yeah, so it's a nice little tradition.
That's great. That sounds awesome, Tyler. Yeah, neat.
And I can say, I don't know if anybody can hear me, but, you know, when you know the purple ribbons that I have left on my fence where people tie them in, and that's year round. So,
Yes. Yeah.
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 Yeah. And that's very powerful, Judith.
Yeah, Judith, I forgot you on the agenda earlier because you haven't joined Slack yet, so you didn't come up blue for me on my agenda that I was following. So we've got you towards the end for a few minutes, just telling us a bit about your Purple Ribbon campaign and what you're doing this year, which is a little different. So it's great. Also, if anybody has questions, you know, if you think you want to do something and you don't quite know how to go about it.
One thing I think that every community can do is actually do a delegation to council and get the mayor and council to declare August 31st, International Overdose Awareness Day. That's a typical thing for all kinds of other days. And I think it just takes it back to the local politicians to think about as well. In Maple Ridge, for the last 4 years, we've done a range of events and use the banner, No More Lives Lost, it's in purple, and it's actually with dedications to different people who have passed. And lantern processionals through various parts of the city down to the water. I do like to paint the town purple, and for the first time I'm doing it in Vision, and that's something I'm actually going out to all the different businesses and through the chamber and the BIA to have purple ribbons out and posters up in all of the businesses, as well as one of the venues we're doing a series of arts-based dialogues that are leading up to Overdose Awareness Day, and hoping to use, oh my God, my dogs, sorry, a venue where we can literally paint a whole wall purple and people can in chalk write messages to their loved ones.
Nice. That's awesome. It's great to hear what everybody else is doing and share ideas and information. I did post, and I'll do it again, I did put together a list of ideas of what people can do. You know, given COVID, it really has created some restrictions on large gatherings that some of us may have done in the past. So I put together just a handout of different ideas and suggestions that you are welcome to look at, and I'll post it on the Advocates channel for you to look at. And one of them was Kat declaring, having the city council proclaim it as Overdose Awareness Day, and in general they're always supportive of that. One of the things, again, our committee thought of approaching the council on too is lowering the flag that's right beside city council in memory of all the lives lost. So that's another thing that we've talked about doing.
Can I ask a question? So do you have to go to a city council meeting, or do you just go to City Hall and request it at the counter, or like to see the mayor?
I think it varies in different cities. For us in Victoria, we were able to just fill out a form and submit it to City Council. Other Mom Stop the Harm members have had to go to a council meeting and present it. So I think you would just need to contact or reach out to them and find out what you need to do.
Okay.
Lori, in Edmonton, you can just fill it out online.
Oh, okay.
Part of going and doing a delegation is that it's recorded. It's on video. Everyone can, you know, look at the minutes of the council meeting. So that's one of the reasons we've actually done it as a delegation, just to give it some like actual prominence beyond just dealing with you know, the administrative stuff. Because most councils, you can just ask them to declare it, and they will. But it's just more of a statement.
For sure.
Thank you.
I have a question for everyone as well. Like, well, I know that we seem to, one thing that our local group recognized was that we were doing a lot of our focus group, I guess, or like our information and our sharing and our collective coming together. We realized that we were trying to sort of reach those that were, you know, of lived experience, and as well as educate those that didn't have it. And we found that we had quite a diverse quite a diverse in our numbers that were coming out, as to it was always like more so one or the other. And so this year we were actually looking at changing it up and doing more than just like one overall awareness event, and totally change it up. So like if it was more like reaching those that are struggling and such, and have it more like come to them and show that yes, we are offering that support, and that there are supports, and just that connection with them. And then as well as in a general general population, raising awareness, and just the fact of, you know, like, hey, keep this in mind, we have this happening in our community. Which do you guys find that you seem to do?
Well, for Victoria, in the past, we've done a public event where we've had more of an educational support public event down at our main city square. And so that's been resource boosts, different agencies, and we had a safe consumption site present, and we did a barbecue for the street community. So that was really well received. I don't know what other people have done. We're looking this year, because of COVID, at just putting a display table up somewhere with information, either at the public library or the hospital. So what, are there other?
In Toronto, we have, I should just back up a bit. This event has been arranged by Irene Patterson for the last 3 years. And she's just gearing up, I believe, now, and it's her baby, really. So I probably won't say too much about it. But she went and met with a liaison person at Toronto City Hall, and she got an arrangement where the CN Tower would be lit purple, where a flag would be raised, Overdose Awareness Day flag would be raised, a podium on site, all the media show up, and then there are a series of speakers, and we read things that we've written. And last year we had Zoe Dodd there with some other advocates, and some folks from Moss Park Safe Consumption site were there in support of Mom Stop the Harm running this. So it was actually a nice community event. I don't know how it's going to happen with COVID. We're in phase 3 of unlocking up, but we're still not allowed to gather in large communities. So I have to update with her and find out how it's going to roll out this year. Sorry, my dog's acting now.
Can I ask how well your attendance is at your events? I just know in our community, it's a very conservative community. We have a lot of issues here. So we just find that we don't get very much turnout.
The first year, Lori, we did ours in Edmonton. We had maybe 50, 60 people. Second year, we had probably 100. Last year, we had 250.
Okay.
So it just takes time. And I think everybody who's done an event will say that sometimes it's just basically you and a table.
It depends on weather and the day that it falls on and the time that you're doing it, all of those things.
Yeah.
That's, you know, it depends. There's so many factors it depends on. I mean, in Kamloops, we've done different things every day. I mean, every year, thank God, not every day. But going to City Hall, like if you're planning on getting the delegation at City Hall, I would suggest that you reach out now, because I just did a delegation at City Hall, and they only have 2 dates that they're available in August for International Overdose Awareness Day. So those are things that you don't leave. No,
but now
get involved now.
Okay.
And I will say, Lori, that I don't think that they do that in Alberta. I don't think they do that kind of thing in Alberta with delegation. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
They will just have a proclamation, and they give you the
Okay.
proclamation, and then someone, if there's somebody available, will come out to your event
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
with the proclamation. So
Yeah, the delegation is actually just the organization going to a council meeting,
Yeah.
but the outcome is the same. It's a proclamation from the city.
Okay.
So it's the same thing. It's just whether you just administratively fill in a form or formally go to speak to them. And you're absolutely right. We're 6 weeks out right now, so now's the time to be doing those kinds.
Right.
Okay.
I was going to say, Lori, too, a big draw to get numbers out is often naloxone training.
Yeah.
So here
We
in
did that last year.
Yeah.
It's
that
just
can
we
really-
only had about 25 people come.
Yeah.
And so and
Yeah.
those were council members.
Right.
So-
That's good.
Good.
That's great.
Yeah.
Jenny, I was wondering, do you also can you already speak about the other event you're planning? The Facebook event?
The vigil part one? Is that
Yeah.
what- Yeah. That was really exciting for us here. And I think it was Leslie that gave our committee the brainwave. Our candlelight vigil is always really well attended every year. With COVID, we couldn't gather because we'd have more than 50 people. So Leslie came up with this brainwave to go live, to do a Facebook Live candle vigil. And Leslie reached out to Dr. Henry, and she's agreed to speak at our event. So it kind of grew from there. And then our planning committee said, well, let's get a proper film crew in to film the event, and then we'll live stream it on Facebook. So we're really pleased to have Dr. Henry there. I think it will mean a great deal to families. For those British Columbians that are here, we know how touched she's been by the overdose crisis. So it's an evening of music and words of remembrance. We have local musicians playing, and it'll be live streaming on Mom Stop the Harm public Facebook August 31st at 7. I know that doesn't work well for you Eastern people, but we'll hopefully be able to replay it the next day for everyone. So
How are you gathering with the restriction on numbers?
well, I'll tell you, Helen, I was so nervous with Bonnie Henry coming, and then I really felt we've got to be diligent around all of that. We had a beautiful gardens with a facility donate their space, and we won't, with the film crew and musicians, we won't have more than 20 people, 25 people in the room. So we'll be able to space chairs apart for everybody that's there. It won't be a public event.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Only just the speakers and the musicians attending.
And they'll promote it hard on Mom Stop the Harm Facebook and other social media channel, because Bonnie Henry really has gained, especially in the harm reduction community, people really love her across the country because she's one of the few public health physicians who doesn't just speak about COVID. And we got to give her a lot of credit there. And she speaks in favor of decriminalization. She spoke about safe supply before other officials mention it. So I think there will be people outside of Victoria and BC who will be interested in listening to her.
Well, she wrote Stop the Harm report, which was released a year before this. But we just need her to really back it up now. So
She actually has very little power. However, sorry?
She's got something.
Well, but she doesn't have
She's Saint Henry at the moment, so she has power beyond the bureaucratic power. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, of course. And if anybody's interested, yesterday's her update from yesterday, which is on YouTube, was astounding because she actually spent more time talking about the opioid crisis and what should be done about it than she did about COVID. And then Adrian Dix came on, and he almost, well, he has to do other things like surgeries and, you know, blah, 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 all the other health stuff. But she's definitely schooling him in what is really going on with the overdose crisis, which he has ignored for the past 5 years. And I think he's being tutored by Bonnie. No, I don't mean she has no legislative power. She has no power to actually make things happen other than by her presence. And of course, that's hugely important. But yeah, we're pretty excited for her to be at our Overdose Awareness Day.
Yeah, and that'll all be shared on Facebook, of course. And thanks for that, Jenny and Leslie. Now, Sandra Tully is with us, I saw. And Sandra, we skipped your first agenda item in the beginning. So we'll just take a jump back. This is not particularly, this is not an Overdose Awareness Day event, but an event that is running all summer and probably into the fall. So Sandra, do you want to tell us about Addiction Matters campaign?
Sure, that would be wonderful. I unfortunately was late because I completely forgot, so I don't have all my little props that I wanted to show you. But we have been working on a website that is about reducing the stigma through language. So it's addictionmatters.ca, and you can go online, take the pledge, print out all the resources are there. We're hoping that the moms will embrace this for their Overdose Awareness Day. To do, it's for across Canada. If we've even made the pledge to the point where we've only asked for first name, last name, and postal code. And if you don't even want to put in your postal code, you don't have to do it. Because there are some people that will take the postal code that don't, the pledge that don't have a postal code. So we wanted to include all our population in taking this pledge, and we launched it on July 6th. It took a little bit longer to get going because of COVID. It was really hard to do everything by email, but we are up and running now, and we're pretty excited about this project. And like I said, we hope that the moms all embrace this and support it for their International Overdose Awareness Days.
How many signatures do you have, Sandra?
We have 584 so far.
Oh.
It's going great. Thanks, Sandra. And yeah, and just every so often feel free to share it in you could put it in announcements or Mom Stop the Harm's Advocate. Just if you haven't done that yet, please, just and reminders and in the closed group and such. And I think Angela has also shared it on the public page. So we bring awareness to it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we all need reminders.
It's hard to get people to see it. It's hard to get people to go on and click on and put their name in. So that's where we're struggling. A lot of people are viewing it, but they're not going to the next step. So
Mm-hmm. I have a question for Sandra. So this campaign and your website and everything has zero to do with Mom Stop the Harm?
Well, except for the fact that I am co-chair on Addiction Matters.
Right. But
so no money came from Mom Stop the Harm?
No, I meant like just media and presence and awareness.
Well, I always introduce myself as Addiction Matters and a member of Mom Stop the Harm. Mm-hmm. I'm both.
Sure, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. But you started this campaign, right?
We did. Yeah, Jessica and I.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what this actually highlights, Sandra, is this importance of connections. And I think we also heard that earlier when Tyler was talking, and for those who are newer to advocacy, the real important part is to embed yourself in your local harm reduction community. Find out what others are doing. You don't have to be like this lone fighter mom who does everything, but get in with these other people and become part of that network. You have your Mom Stop the Harm identity. It's going to give you presence and clout, and then working together with the other people. That's where our strength comes from.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah. Great. Helen, did you have a comment?
I just, I put out a challenge to all Mom Stop the Harm members to take the pledge. So I was hoping that would set things on fire for Addiction Matters.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Everybody take the pledge.
Take the
Take the
pledge.
Post your selfie.
Take the pledge.
There's all resources and everything. Post your selfie
Yeah.
picture, reasons why you took the pledge.
Yeah. So great, thanks. And do we have somebody from Winnipeg with us now?
I'm here. Rebecca.
Oh, there you are. Great, Rebecca. Good to see you. So tell us what you guys did and what you plan to do this year for overdose awareness.
So we're taking a popular street in Winnipeg, and Angela has given us some Mom Stop the Harms photos as well. And we have 44 that have been lost in Winnipeg, and we're lining up the street with the kids' photos. We normally kick off our Purple Ribbon campaign with the mayor. We can't this year, so we're going to be doing our photo release that we took this week on the 1st.
All right. So where are you attaching the photos? Like how are you lining? People standing and holding them, or?
No, so I printed all of them, laminated all of them. We'll hole punch them, tie them with a ribbon, and we'll put them up on trees.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you have plenty of beautiful trees in Winnipeg.
Yeah. So we're doing a street, and then we're just doing Winnipeg Children at our garden, and we're doing it at another smaller town outside of Winnipeg.
Okay, great. And
I have a question. Can you tell us about the photo shoot? Yes, was it yesterday or the day before?
It was on Wednesday. We were supposed to do it Monday, and we got rained out. I think it was a pretty big deal. We had our police chief come and stand with us, and our fire chief and leader of the opposition, Wab Canoe for NDP, came and stood with us for a photo shoot.
So that was
how many people came out?
I'd say about 25 plus them. It was a pretty good turnout.
Yeah.
And was it a Mom Stop the Harm event, or was it different? I always just wonder, what kind of coverage we're getting on things.
It was both. We felt that we kind of wanted to control this photo release, so we didn't invite any media to our event. We feel we've got some bus shelters where we're putting around with the ribbons. That's how we're going to release our photo on the 3rd, just with the way it goes with printing with our billboards. But those are going to be done both under Overdose Awareness Manitoba and Mom Stop the Harm.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah, if you can share some photos once you have those up,
Please, yeah.
I mean, the Purple Ribbon Campaign Facebook page is really a universal Facebook page for all things Overdose Awareness Day. So everybody who has photos can share there. Yeah.
So Rebecca, can you mention something about the ice cream campaign that you have too going on?
So just trying to turn our town a bit more purple. We are partnering with a distributor, and she's selling purple ice cream, and all the proceeds are going to be going to the Bruce Oak Recovery Center. So people go in and she's donating all of her proceeds. So I think it's just another way for us to kind of get people. It's going to be advertised there as well, the Purple Ribbon campaign, just kind of getting some other people we probably wouldn't get involved in it, just, going, buying purple ice cream, taking a selfie with their ice cream, and we'll post it on our social media.
That's great. Yeah. You guys always have such creative ideas. In the past, you also had a building lit. Is that happening this year? Or?
We have the Winnipeg side normally lit. It depends what happens with COVID.
Oh, yeah.
I put in the request about 3-4 weeks ago, and right now our Winnipeg sign is staying lit blue until COVID's over. So I'm not quite sure what that means for us, if it's going to be done or not. But we also, the first year I did it, 2018, we made like over 4,000 ribbons, like individual ribbons, and handed them out to people. We found the trees kind of were a better way. And then last year we really found, people even said to us too, just putting a ribbon, for us, it really hit home, having those pictures with the children and seeing who this is affecting was a big impact. But we still do the individual ribbons and hand them out to even Brian Pallister, who's a conservative leader, just like all the rest. He doesn't really support it, but he will send in a selfie for us usually with wearing a purple ribbon. So
Okay.
I just want to make it. I just want to make another comment about Winnipeg. I don't know if everyone has had an opportunity to see their memorial garden. I love the garden. I think it would be awesome if that could be something that we could all have in our centers. So just, I think you have pictures on your site, right? I've shared some pictures as well, I think.
I took pictures when I was out in November.
Yeah. But the latest ones where you have like some frames and you've got some really nice photos, Rebecca, maybe you can share them in the closed group again. Because I think that is something that we can work on year round. You know, if we have a garden year round, and I'm trying in Edmonton to get one, but it's very hard in Edmonton to get any kind of park space. But maybe some other centers might have a little bit more luck at that.
Yeah. Well, Sandra, you guys have the bench, right? Where's the bench?
We have the bench. We did the bench last year, and it sits right in our main park, right on the riverway. So we will probably do some sort of acknowledgement around the bench this year. We're just trying to hammer out those details right now of what we can do that incorporates all the other things that we've done in the past. So.
Yeah. So Jennifer, would it make sense to, you know, take photos of those items and put them in the Purple Ribbon campaign, you know, jazz them up with a purple ribbon and take photos and share them, right?
Absolutely. And even anything purple, really, it's paint town purple. So the bridge lights, Judith, your flags and yarn that you do, if you could post a picture, like anything. Honestly, it's about getting that color to be recognized universally for all those that we've loved and lost. So it would be great to see it grow.
Yeah, and also if we can all share that page with our own Facebook friends. Like sometimes our Facebook friends, I know my Facebook friends sometimes have a hard time with the more political stuff, like my non-advocacy Facebook friends, that is. But when it comes to things like remembering our loved ones, that is really where we can connect people. And I always say, you know, you open hearts and it will eventually open minds. And that really is what it's about. Yeah. So just being mindful of time here as well. Angela, we have Angela, Judith, and Lori still. So Angela, you want to tell us quickly what the plans are in Edmonton this year? The ever-evolving plans as our government makes it harder and harder. To do an event at the legislature in Alberta is now you have to remortgage your house. It's becoming so difficult.
Well, maybe not remortgage the house, but it's pretty difficult. So we've got a couple of things going on in Edmonton because of COVID and the restrictions. And honestly, none of the organizing committee is really that interested in putting together an event this year because the restrictions are just too hard. So I connected with Lorna, who had some information on a nonprofit rate for a billboard, which I think I shared with many of you. And so, can you see my screen?
Yep.
So this is essentially what our billboard is going to look like. It's going to be up for a month. I'm going to switch it out to have different photos. This one is someone's brother, and this one will say someone's sister. We hope to have, my screen is freezing, so I'm not able to switch here. Maybe I can, one will say someone's brother, one will say someone's sister. We'll probably have someone's family, and we will switch them out, probably have about 10 different billboards throughout the month of August.
Are they digital?
Who is that young man? I recognize his face, but I wondered.
This is Kyle Reinbolt, and he is from Edmonton. So the photos will be people from Edmonton, And I hope to also have, why is my, it's too bad I can't switch over to the other one here. And because I'm also using the photos from our memorial shoot, where we will take a photo of, in particular, we've got one with Lorna, Rick, and Julian holding a picture of Danny and a cross. And so,
that would be me,
so
not Lorna.
Oh, sorry. Did I say Lorna? I meant Petra. Yeah. So I think it'll be pretty powerful for the campaign. We are also going to do an evening event where we're going to meet at the park, where it overlooks our bridge, which is lit up in purple. And so we are going to meet at 7:30 at the park, and it'll be a casual event. I'm not really promoting it to the public just because of the difficulties with COVID and trying to, you know, we need to have the proper procedures there and cleaning procedures and all of that stuff. So it's just primarily going to be families and their loved ones will be coming. And hopefully it'll be a nice evening. We're not going to get rained out. And what we're also planning on doing is a shoe campaign. So last year in Alberta, 603 people died from overdose. And so we're asking people who will be coming to bring as many shoes as they can so that we can have hopefully 600 pairs of shoes. And we're going to line them up in pairs and hopefully be able to take a really meaningful photo if we get enough shoes. And even if we don't, I think it'll be a pretty good photo. So that's what we're doing in Edmonton. Now, there was some conversation, I'll just talk about it because we have some people here. There was some conversation about doing a billboard that was more advocacy based. And we've had some conversation with Pattison and they won't approve it. They can't do the $500 nonprofit rate, which is what that billboard is costing us if we're going to be doing advocacy or lobbying. So the billboard that I had with the picture of Kyle is approved. Pattison has approved it. So if anybody wants to do a billboard campaign, you can use the format that I have and just we can swap out a photo of a local loved one who has passed in that area. So if somebody wants to do one in Calgary, then, you know, she will use the same design and then we can provide a photo of somebody perhaps in Calgary. So anybody who was thinking about doing one that was a little bit more advocacy based, Pattison has said no, that would cost us more like $20,000, not $500.
Yeah. So we can still do one in Lethbridge, but we just have to use the format you have. And yeah.
That one in Lethbridge?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So anything saying decrim is that lobbying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything safe supply or decriminalization?
Yeah.
Really?
Anything about supervised consumption sites, anything a politician might have to say something about is lobbying. Yeah.
Really?
So is Pattison the only holder of billboards?
No,
but I mean, and you know, that was the one that was giving us the nonprofit rate. And so, you know, I mean, you would have to do your research. To be quite honest, no billboard is going to give us advocacy based billboard for $500.
Yeah. And I think the message that the overdose message is still very powerful. And, you know, we might even going with the electronic billboard, we might be able to put one with the funding we have left over. We might be able to put one in Medicine Hat and Lethbridge if we go with that message and the electronic, Kim, if you like, you know, we could use Neil's picture there potentially, or That would be powerful. And
So
also, this, go
we
ahead,
get
Helen.
to you can switch the picture up a bit, right? You can have,
yeah,
like, how many switches can you have? Do you know, Angela?
Well, I mean, you know, if we use the same format, you know, with somebody's brother, you could do, I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to have 2 or 3 for the first week. So 2 for sure, maybe 3. I have to talk with the salesperson. And so the first week will be someone's brother. The second week will be someone's sister. The third week will be someone's family, with 2 photos swapped out. And then the last week, because it's going to be the week of Overdose Awareness Day, I have to think about how I'm going to do that last week and maybe change it a little bit. I don't know yet. I haven't figured that out. But the message is the same. You have to remember these billboards are 6-second shots. So it's essentially driving by, and so they need to have that 6 seconds.
So the billboards in Kelowna that Pattison owns are all 10 by 40. So for one here, it's $1,000.
Is it a digital billboard?
Yep, it's digital.
Yeah.
So if we used, so I think I can get the CAT to pay half of that. So I'm still in the $500 budget.
We'll work it out within the board. We have 8 slots approved. We have an interest from we have Edmonton. One gets paid out of a different budget, one approved from Edmonton. We have Lethbridge Medicine Hat from a different pot of money as well. So of the 8, we have Edmonton, we have Ottawa, we have Montreal. So there are still spots. So if somebody has an interest, get in touch with Angela. And but it has to be. Is that okay, Angela, to just forward then get? But it has to be that forward.
Yeah, it has to be that. It has to be that format. Yes.
Yeah. So the only thing you can give is a picture.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I you know, the active moms that we have will all give a picture, and we've got dads, brothers, sons.
Well, we can't do 10, 20. Like, what's the max?
No. I'm only talking 3 or 4, like Angela is.
Yeah. No, that's perfect. So we'll discuss it on the board level offline. So those of you who are interested, who weren't mentioned, I saw Sandra showed that she was interested.
Yes.
So get in touch, get the contact information from Angela. Our contact is on holiday right now, so we have a few days. So basically, we will use the Edmonton format, and all you have to submit is a picture and say if it's somebody's brother or something. Yeah. So, so we get that covered, and thank you so much to Lorna for making that connection. When Angela has spent a lot of time on it, I've spent a lot of time on it, getting very creative with a beautiful image that we will use in other formats, but unfortunately not, as a billboard because of the political message.
Quickly, do you see the screen with the second photo?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, we see. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is Jacob. This is Jacob, and this one is a family with the cross. So you see and this one will be someone's family, and there we have one as well.
And can you send me one of those, Angela, just so I have? Can you email it to me just so I have it to show the other moms?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Angela, could we could just you could just share it in the board Slack as well.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you for that, Angela. Now, Judith, we've had lots of discussions. So if you could briefly just update us on what you're doing this year. We know what you've done in the past, but show us what's this. Oh, you have photos. That's great. Show us what you're doing this year for your fence and your purple ribbons. And you need to unmute yourself.
Okay, so really it has changed a bit over time. I still have my original display with the flags and that I had made, and that is my traveling display. So that's the one that was blessed by Pope Francis. All of those flags and things like that, a lot of those flags were blessed, and same with all of those ribbons that you see that people have left. Those were also all blessed. And I also still have the ribbons up, so people continue to add to the ribbons. And anyways, and I didn't really know how to go about doing this slideshow or whatever. So
no, it's nice.
Just changed. I still have it on my fence. What started out being a 2-week project turned out to be, so this is my traveling display, you can see. And it's pretty close to that. And it's close to 100 feet long. And then my new display, because the flags were fading in that on the back of my fence, and the ribbons were starting, and the pieces of yarn were starting to look pretty tattered, I ended up putting hearts. So I think, yeah, that's farther down. And obviously these are some of the places that we've done it. No,
the other way?
At the very end, yeah. So I actually painted hearts right there on the fence, and so people can submit names, and I put their names. So those are all names of people who have given me their names of their loved ones who have died. So that's always on display. And then I think go up another, go down. And then recently, oh yeah, and then a local artist had added to the display. And I just did the funny Bob Marley thing. And then I planted flowers. So this is a memorial area for really the children. And there's obviously some awareness signs there, telling of what's going on, you know, what this is about. And recently I've added photos of loved ones. It's a large fence, so I have a lot to work with. And
Edith, you are amazing.
And then I'm doing another, Angela and Millie had put together another poster, so I'm waiting for that. And that should arrive any day. It may be in today. So I just continue. I'm constantly trying to raise awareness, not, you know, kind of more than just because I have the fence, I can just keep it up year round, and that's what I've been doing. So, and most of the flowers that I planted go back up there, back down again. Most of the flowers I planted are all perennials, so they'll keep coming back each year. And then people can still add to it, but you know, I just thought, well, I'll fill it in. It's with gutters that I did it. I tried to see how I could figure it out. But anyways, and now I even have an irrigation system out there to make sure that I get water.
Wow.
So,
wow. Thank you so much, Judith. It's beautiful. Yeah.
And I'm hoping, I know Jenny, it's funny because there's one thing that I kind of have to show you, and it's too bad we couldn't have an event here or that small event, because I'm going to try and see if I can do it through this. It should show, but I have let's see, I have a huge backyard. I don't know if you can see that. And it would be, you know, really, we could be doing something back here, and we don't need any public, you know, permission or anything, you know, a gathering here of something for overdose awareness. But as far as I know, I'm bringing my traveling display to Victoria. So I just realized I hadn't really gotten back to her. I actually wrote something in response, but it's still in my whatever you call it. I forgot to send it. Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, thank you, Judith. It's amazing. So, hi, just saying hi.
Hi. Hi, Rick.
Sorry, and our friend Liz. Yeah. So yeah, but we have a lot of ideas, lots of plans that we hope we can make Overdose Awareness Day big in a different way in this COVID year, and make it happen. And then after Overdose Awareness Day is done, we need more ideas. And so Lori, what was your idea?
Hi there. So what I was thinking is it would be nice if we could make a countrywide, provincially movement and do a rally at each legislature for decriminalization and safe supply. If we can round people up and each province go to their legislature as a big group all on the same day, I would like to see something like that happen.
It is a challenge with COVID as numbers are limited, gathering. I mean, it's a good idea. And we thought about doing that over and over again. And we've done it actually a few times at our AGM. Actually, I don't think we were focused necessarily at that time on decriminalization. It's a great time to do it since all the police chiefs have agreed that they support the idea. That doesn't mean it's legislated yet. We still have, we still have to keep up the pressure. But gatherings like that are definitely powerful, and especially if you can get media. And so we always have to remember all these things that we do post-COVID, I guess. We need to definitely alert media, because that's obviously multiplies it by thousands of people. It's a great idea. The other thing that can be done is members of parliament, your MPs, your MLAs, connect with them, see where they stand on the issues. And if they're opposed to the idea of decrim or safer supply, then, respectfully, physically distanced, mask wearing gatherings at their offices. And none of these things cost money. It does just take some coordination, but yeah, Lori, that's a good idea, and hopefully we can do that soon.
Yeah, we can see where we are with COVID.
2021.
Yeah.
Well, we can also, what we could do is have a day of action where we all go to our local MP's office.
Yeah.
Like in every community, that might be a more COVID-friendly approach.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
Yeah, but it would be great to have, like Lori said, have one day where all do it at the same day.